Hey, Sam.
How are you
How
going?
are you? I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Snap. Yeah, I'm good. Bit windy. Can you
That
hear the
is
wind?
good. I can't hear it on your end. I can hear it
That's
on
good.
my end.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't
It's
it? So
been
that's obviously
like
fine.
so stormy.
I know.
It has been very stormy. But anyway,
Yeah,
it's actually clear for a moment. So we are walking, even though it's hot, but
it
I'm
is
getting a
very
breeze. It's
hot.
good.
And I am going to go up that big hill, but that's okay because during that big hill, you can talk.
Actually, we'll probably hit our heels at the same time because I'm
So that's
about
all
to
we're
hit
going
it.
to is the puffing.
Absolutely.
Well, does it
Absolutely.
matter? You know, it's funny. I was looking back at some of our other recordings and I'm noticing things like when the light hits the hairs on my chin or a little bit of food stuck in the tooth there or whatever. And I'm thinking, I'm funnily okay
That
with
is
that as I pluck that
now you
and
know
check
that
my
I'm
teeth
I'm
before I
checking
go
my
out.
I'm checking my teeth.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
No, no,
geez,
you're
what have I
fine. Well,
eaten?
as
I
far as
had
I
some
can see.
yeah.
Well, I
I
made
had
the mistake
I
of
had
eating
some
some
Vita Weeks
nuts, and
earlier.
nuts get
Yeah.
like white stuff, like a filler,
Yeah.
macadamia filler.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Excellent.
excellent. Right.
Right.
So
Well,
today,
have
what
we
are we
have we
talking
done
about?
all our chat?
We're
What are
done.
we
There's
talking
nothing more to
about?
talk about. Oh my gosh.
We've just solved the problems
Really?
of the world, so it's
This
all
never
done.
ending pit of stuff to talk about.
I
It's amazing.
know.
Well, we dug into
It is
truth. We've
amazing.
dug into, but what was I thinking about? Oh, and I know today was about joy, actually, and thinking
It
about,
was.
yes, what brings joy into your life, and that everything that you do really should be about joy. You know, work should be joyous. How often are those two words synonymous? We think not. You know, interaction should be, if something's not bringing you joy, then kind of question fundamentally why? Why not?
This is true, but I feel like you're not saying joy in like a happy,
A
happy,
Pollyanna way?
toxic, everything's gonna be fine type way.
No,
I feel like, you
true joy with
know what I
everything
mean?
that it
But what
encompasses.
does
Yeah,
that even
truth maybe?
mean?
Truth? Is that,
Well,
yeah.
you and I have, okay, so one thing we
Mm-mm.
have been discussing lately is that Mary Pause is a big fat experiment in, living for us as much as, anything else. And that we have
Yes.
been brutally honest in a way that we've probably never ever done in our lives.
Yeah.
And also that, we're going through, everyone's going through stuff, but in our
Yes.
particular case, we're probably processing things in a better, healthier way because we're just talking about it and
Yeah.
being honest when we're having a shit day.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And here's the irony. Whilst I'm going through a tough time and we're being brutally honest and vulnerable and all of that, I actually feel more joyful than I have been at other non, upheavally
Testing.
kind of
Yeah.
points in my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes
So
perfect sense. It's, yes, finding joy
that's
and
why I was
sometimes even
unpicking
the intense. Go on.
the definition that you're only handing to me because you're going up the hill, I can tell.
Yeah. Sure, go on. Go on, Sal. Tell me everything.
Your opinion's so enlightened until
Yeah.
I get to the top of this hill. No, and I'm not saying every day is joyful. I'm certainly not saying that, but I guess I'm learning how to be a bit more grateful for lots of things in my life. Here's the kind of, how we keep on talking about these paradoxes that keep on popping
Yes.
up. The more that
Yes.
you're kind of grateful for what you've already got and the people around you, and the less you need, and the more joyful you kind of feel. That's my experience.
Yeah.
You
Grateful
can't
for the good
answer
and the
because you're
bad as well.
puffing.
Exactly. The divine dichotomy, yes, between
Yeah.
that which can appear to be so difficult, so hard, and so contrary to what
Yes.
you might want, but then turns out to be exactly what you
Yeah.
need and brings true
Correct.
feeling of contentment, the right thing, if there is such a thing as the right thing,
Yeah, but it's not
and joy.
even, I'm not talking about joy like I've experienced. I'm not talking about joy as
No.
in the birth of a child or something that, is a tick off a life event kind of thing. I'm talking about
Yeah.
like a lightness and a lack
Mm.
of anxiety around something as being quite joyful. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's
Like
not,
that book, The Unbearable Lightness of Being,
I feel like you're just
Milan
bucking off
Kundera,
on a
years ago.
tangent today. I feel like this is, we're veering straight into a philosophy lesson, but sure. Okay.
Everything's philosophy.
So, in other news, joyful one,
That, did you see anything?
what else has been happening?
Anyway,
We are both having a good day.
oh, what else did they have? Well, we're also, no, I think about thinking about making decisions and about,
Yes.
it's been a very interesting, I think, couple of days for us in terms of
Yes, it
decision making
has.
and understanding the pivot again that you have to make sometimes based on
Yeah. And it was
information
so
or
scientific
a feeling.
and like,
Yes.
it wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
It
And
was
it's about
really, really like strategy. Yes, it is.
strategy. Yeah.
Yes.
Strategic intuition or intuitive strategy. Not quite sure which.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of
No.
both.
So,
Certainly
and we're
allowing.
probably talking in loops and riddles, but basically we've had to make some
Yeah, but that's
business
okay.
decisions. Yeah, which fixes the,
Yes.
it affects us personally. There's obviously 500 million books on how to make these decisions optimally, and we used none of them because
No, we
all of
didn't.
this,
We used our instinct.
our instincts, you know. So,
Yeah.
and what we honestly feel is aligned and right and what we should be doing, which I don't think there's a problem with that. I think it's actually the right thing to do. But
No.
um,
Yes.
it's interesting how
And
we have
exercising.
evolved.
We have certainly evolved, and the ability to I think to notice things and to accept things with
Yes.
more. Yes, you know what I mean by this.
Yeah. I know what you mean by
With a
this.
more stable kind of
I feel
more
like
quickly
for a
actually
lot of,
as well.
well, you and I, we're very much used to not forcing, but logistically organizing everything. And when I say logistically organizing
Yeah,
everything,
and
I
being in
mean
control.
being in control, right? And having an outcome and having, 50 different scenarios planned out for if that outcome changes.
Mm-hmm.
And we've reached some points where we're developing Clio and we're kind of working really intensely where we've just had to make a decision and let it go and pivot
Yeah.
quickly
Yes. Yes.
and without regret
And be okay
because
with it quickly.
and be okay with
Yes.
it. So it's kind of probably what
Yeah.
non, non, or some people who aren't probably as, we've got 4 little people that we're kind of managing. I mean, mine aren't too little, but like there's a lot involved in logistics in our lives.
Yeah.
And we just think of that
Yes.
as second nature. And it's actually really hard
The
to
norm.
pull yourself
Yeah.
back from busy thinking and just go, actually, where does my
Yeah.
gut sit on this? What do I actually instinctively think? And just make a decision and run with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I traditionally have not been good at that. I have traditionally been, oh my God, did I make the right decision? Oh my God,
Yes.
what if I didn't? Oh my God, can I
Because
reverse
it
it?
affects other people. I think it's because it
Correct.
has, because in our
It only
lives,
affects
every
us.
decision
Yeah.
has a domino effect. But
Affects.
this is us. This is about us. And so we're kind of free
Yeah. And I
to
mean,
make
even when you're
decisions.
working with clients, you know,
Yes.
any decision you make really isn't your own. Like it's you're just advising.
There's
You're not
always
actually the
someone else
person
who's
probably
accountable or,
yes, exactly. Whereas this is a different experience. Not and it's one that I'm relishing because I feel like you and I are learning so much about our
yeah.
capacity to just do that. Like
Yes.
and
And the
sort
ability to
of
let go, which is hard
let
sometimes
go.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or change. Or pivot quickly.
Or,
You
yeah.
know. Um
Yeah. Everything becomes a
so
living experience.
Well, yes, and I feel like
inflexibility.
I'm carrying that through to my personal life because
Yes.
um I just feel like I'm getting better at it. Whereas I used to be a full on, I would toss and turn over decisions, and it was very, you know, uh, everything was so important. But now I'm like, make it, move on, make it,
Mm.
move on,
Yeah.
and we'll just fix it up later. Basically,
Yeah. If it's not
if I
quite
fuck it
right,
up,
yep.
we're not talking trash about people. You know what I mean? Than anyone else. Hopefully, we're not so self indulgent that we're, you know, I feel
No,
like
we're
it's
just
good.
sharing. No, we're
Just
just sharing. It's all about
just
sharing
sharing.
and saying, trying to be inclusive and trying to just say, look, you can do this too. It's not just us. We're not experts by any means. We're just it's like you, just trying to figure it out. And we kind of figured that we'd, put ourselves on
Just,
camera and out there doing it.
and I think it's just about permission and about just admitting that no one actually knows doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I haven't run
We're
into
all in it
one
together.
person where I've started talking about where we are in midlife, what menopause is
Yeah.
about, who's gone, oh, no one needs that.
No one needs that. My gosh. What are you talking
Everyone else has
about?
got it figured out. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know where you're coming from. That is not the conversations that we have around this
That's so
topic
true,
because
isn't it? We're not even figuring it out. We're not here to figure it out. We're just here to make sure that people are talking and feeling enough about it in order to feel that within their own space, they learn to feel a bit more comfortable with where they are, no matter where that is, even if
and I
it's a
feel like
horrible place.
this is the kind of one of the paradoxes or the dichotomies that we've discovered is
Yeah.
letting out your rubbish actually just lets it go
Makes you feel
rather than
better.
pretending makes you feel better, makes you feel lighter. It makes you not carry it around into other relationships or take it out on your kids. It's kind of like, as we've discussed, cheap therapy that, allows you to verbalize just those fears and those underlying things that happen midlife, which you're not
Exactly.
ready for, which is feeling a little bit
No.
undervalued and feeling
And
like
to
your skills are
express
being
yourself
superseded by, yeah, but just feeling like there's someone younger and more, has more
more
degrees.
out
Do you know
there.
what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, more out there,
I do.
does better contouring with their makeup.
Onto that jaw thing. Now, okay, well, that's the end of a session, Sal.
That is. Until
It
next
is.
time.
Until
Adios.
next time. Adios.
Okay. Bye.